unhinged, we ignite. Positivity shining bright. Reptiles, exalt, unite. Untamed, unhinged in the night. Big Flex and Chris spreading the vibe. Eric and the mad scientist, David by my side. Untamed, unhinged, talking reptiles all day. Positivity's our topic in every single way. Untamed, unhinged, we ignite. Positivity shining bright. Reptiles, exalt, unite. Untamed, unhinged in the night. Untamed, unhinged, we ignite. Positivity shining bright. Reptiles, exalt, unite. Untamed, unhinged in the night. Big Flex and Chris spreading the vibe. Eric and the mad scientist, David by my side. Untamed, unhinged, talking reptiles all day. Positivity's our topic in every single way. You will start with the community's voice, spreading love and knowledge, making noise by choice. Reptiles and exotics, we stand strong. Untamed, unhinged, singing our song. Untamed, unhinged, we ignite. Positivity shining bright. Reptiles, exotics, all unite. Untamed, unhinged in the night.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Untamed and Unhinged Reptile Podcast. We got the co-host, EA Snakes, Eric.
What's up, everybody?
Me, Big Flexing Finesse and Reptiles. What's going on, guys? Sorry, we've been gone about, a month now. Had to take some time off, get some mental health. Eric's work on his reptile room.
Got a baby on the way. Getting a bit.
Yeah, it's just hard to trying to find guests as well, you know. So
I mean, evicted. I'm getting evicted by my wife out of this room to the garage. That's what I mean.
But yeah, man, everything's been good. Life's been good. So far, so good. I mean, I just keep hitting the gym, trying to gather myself. So
good, bro.
Sexing and Flexing is coming back, dude.
For real?
Yeah, bringing Sexing and Flexing back. But it's going to be under the network where it's still Untamed Unhinged. It's still us. Sexing and Flexing is going to be under Untamed Unhinged Network, Reptile Podcast, or Reptile Podcast Network.
That's dope.
And anything with you, Art?
Yeah, there's a meeting in Amelia County, Virginia, about the exotic animal ordinances. So if you live around that area, definitely go check that out. And then definitely hit up USARC's website, become a member of USARC and USARC Florida.
Oh, yeah. And then on that, I don't think there's anything else besides that. We do have another podcast on Wednesday, though. I haven't made the flyer. I've been trying to. It's kind of hard. So, on that being said, let's bring our guests. We got Danny from Chain Reaction Exotics. Let's bring them on out. Bring them out. What's up, Danny?
What's going on, guys?
Go ahead and tell us about yourself, brother.
Ooh. See, we started doing this in 2018, about a year before I retired from the Army. We started, my wife was like, hey, let's get a ball python. So I was like, yeah, why not, man? And we ordered one off Morph Market, and then we went up to NERBC up in Arlington that November and came back with a rack and a few more snakes, and it just kind of started spiraling from there,
I remember that. Was that when I met you at the NRBC in Dallas?
No, I think that was like 2 years after that.
Oh, okay. I was I thought it was at that.
Yeah, that's when we were down there at the hotel.
Yeah, with MJ and everybody. Everybody was all drinking.
Yeah.
That shit was fun. So when did you decide to get into ball pythons besides, Like, when did you decide, like, it was going to be ball pythons and not, like, boas or anything else? Why not anything else?
At the beginning, that's what really just caught our eye. When we were at that first show, just seeing all the different genetics and everything, we just kind of got tunnel vision a little bit, And when you, seeing the highways and the super gravels and the bells and the pieds and all the clowns, just all the different morphs, just kind of, nothing was even there was no other stuff on the table at that point. We were just like, hey, this would be a fun hobby. It's not we have our LLC and we treat it like a business, but it's not our main source of income. It's just a hobby for us, something we enjoy to do. Like I was telling, Eric earlier, we got, a couple hog noses last year to start working with that. Our Mexican black king snakes are ready to breed. We just need to get the wine fridge so we can do the burmation. we've got 3 big old boas that we've talked about breeding, but we're still kind of on the fence. My wife's got a wall of tarantulas in here that, she eventually would like to breed a little bit here and there. She's still trying to figure it out, because there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. So we've got different stuff. It's just right now, the only thing we are breeding right now is just ball pythons.
And like, what are your best projects you're working on right now? Like, what's the project?
My main one is the Trojan. I mean, we got other stuff on the side with the Xanthic, and we're always doing pies and stuff like that, just taking it up another notch every season. But I'd say probably the most cool one that I'm working with right now is the Trojan project.
And how's like the economy treating you right now, especially with like trying to push ball pythons out?
I mean, we're not in too much to where it's like, we're trying to push $20,000 clutches or trying to sell an $8,000 snake. I mean, we'll hatch some every once in a while that will get up there, but we're strategically doing this and putting yourself in a position to where you can sell what you make, you can house what you make, and it doesn't put a financial strain on you, I think is the way to go. I've seen some people get into it. Your eyes are big, so there's a lot to take in. And when you're brand new and you see guys like Justin and Bob and Josh and some of those other guys, you're like, wow, these guys are raking it in. But it's not that easy. And you start going down that path and chasing people, and next thing you know, this person's popping up like, I'm selling this collection, I'm selling this. And, it's take it one day at a time, just piece by piece, little bit by little, and don't try to, don't get too overwhelmed. You get bogged down too. When you're bogged down, then it stops becoming fun. And when it stops becoming fun, then what are you even doing it for?
Exactly. Are you and your wife like you're at the shows together, doing everything together?
Oh yeah,
that's super cool.
We've been the shows together, and even my youngest, my daughter, she's 12. She comes out when we do a lot of like we're doing Repticon and Grapevine next month, and they'll both be there with me. We're doing Longview Herps in January. They'll both be right there. She likes it most of the time because she gets to take Friday off of school. So we can get up there early. So she loves that. The only one that my daughter doesn't go to is NERBC, because that's like adult time. That's we and my wife. We get away and we go out there and we're having a good time and we're partying and having fun. So the kids, they don't go to that one.
Nice. That's super cool that your whole family's in it. I like that.
Have you been to Tinley? Or have you gone to Tinley?
No, man. We had flights and rooms and everything reserved back in 2020, right before COVID happened. And then they canceled it. And then that's the first time they did the St. Louis show. So we rebooked our flights and canceled the hotel, and we went to the St. Louis one instead, which that one's a really cool venue because there's a lot of really cool stuff right there in St. Charles to do. A lot of good places to eat, historic sites. There's a casino like not even 2 miles from the venue. So that's a pretty cool one that we want to go back to and hang out. I mean, those big ones like that we're not going to go and vend those. Maybe one day, but most of the time we just go up there to hang out and have fun and see friends. It's a lot easier, it's less stressful.
So about like how many shows do you vend a year?
Last year we did like 6 last year. I think this year probably about the same, between 6 to 8 shows, somewhere around there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that like is there a limit y'all do, or?
Yeah, we try to keep just doing them in the spring and the fall and the wintertime. Like try to not do anything between June and August, so that we've got the summer. We may do one in the middle of the summer, but usually the time I try to keep that. My youngest is out of school. That's our time to take off and hook up the camper and drive down and go down to Port A, for to the beach and go down there for a week, chill out, and that's our time. So you got to make that time, because you don't want to be. I couldn't do it if we were doing shows every other, twice a month, 3 times a month, and constantly going. That's a lot.
I know you work a lot too, and like I see like you don't post a lot. I think you only post a lot more on Facebook than you do Instagram.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back to it. I had a patch this earlier in the year.
So Carissa.
It's probably starting around the end of February. My sister passed away from cancer, so we were doing a lot of stuff, and then my stepbrother committed suicide in the first part of June. So that threw a lot of stuff. So we knew certain stuff was coming up. So we basically, man, almost took like a whole year
What's up, bro?
from breeding. Like we just had our first 2 clutches of this year just hatch over the last 4 weeks, and I've got 2 in the incubator right now. So everything is going super late. So that was, yeah, there was a stretch there where we were still doing our thing, but I wasn't posting too much online. But starting to get back, doing some more stuff, posting, taking pictures, and but like I said, it's not my main job. This is our hobby. But yeah, I try to keep up as much as possible. I still got my Monday through Friday.
But like, speaking of that, like, because that could be like anything too, like breakups. For me, my dad passed away. I think I disappeared for like half a year. But trying to like cope with that kind of stuff, it's rough.
It is. It's a lot to deal with, man.
Like I'm just trying to figure out like how'd you do it?
Yeah, I mean, this is my happy. I love coming in the snake room and working with the animals. It's therapeutic. And even with PTSD and all that stuff, it helps. It's even when I go in there, a couple hours cleaning the rodents and stuff. I got music on in the background, and it's just kind of you get to escape from reality for a little bit. But yeah, during that time, especially when my sister and then my stepbrother, it was like bam, bam, bam. And then the year before that, my Anna, my wife, she lost 2 cousins, within the span of about probably 8 months. And so there was, there was a lot. This last 2.5 years, man, ain't been too kind to us, really. Yeah, my best.
That's super tough. I'm sorry you had to go through all that, Danny.
I appreciate that, but you got to push through. I mean, life happens. Sometimes
I can understand that the snakes are definitely a comfort. You put on some music or a podcast and you go to work. It definitely is a little therapeutic.
It is.
I'm sorry, like I said, man, I'm sorry you had to go through all that. But it is really nice to see you still have all the snakes and stuff, because sometimes that is very traumatic, and some people just say,
oh yeah, yeah. Me and my wife, we always talk. We want to keep it at a level to where it's not, too much. Like we're not going to get any bigger than what we are right now.
How many snakes do you have right now?
Right now, probably only about 60 something. After all the babies start hatching, and we'll shoot back up over 100, and then we're gonna, I've still got some room in the rat. We're gonna have some holdbacks, for the Trojan stuff and some Xanthic stuff, but that'll probably bump us back up closer to 80. And then, but right around that 80 to 100, that's like that sweet spot. I don't want to get any bigger than that. It's like we breed enough rodents to feed our collection and then sell some on the side. And I don't want to have to get any bigger than the 5 rodent racks that we're doing, because when you start cleaning, all those tubs once a week, man, it's, I get out there early on Saturday morning, I'll do them all in one shot in about 3 hours. That's everything. That's all. But then, my ASF grow outs, there's some that I've got, there's, 40, 50, 60 in one tub. So I'm cleaning those, every 5 days, because if not, you don't want them to get all stinky and stuff in there. Plus, I don't like them running around when it's all dirty. So I keep them as clean as possible. Some of them I probably don't need to clean every 7 days. But, when you're sitting out there cleaning tubs, man, it's easier. Just get them all done. Makes the room smell a lot better.
Put on a podcast helps too, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I use the podcast from the previous day, like when I'm cleaning up poop. It helps, when everyone else is, everyone else is doing the same thing, cleaning up poop, same as you.
Yeah.
Get it done.
It just helps. Makes the day go by quicker.
Man, it's crazy because the way y'all clean those tubs and rat poop, man, I give it to you guys, man, because that's a lot of poop.
Yeah, but So the rat tubs, I got them in the cement tubs from Lowe's. Those are easy. Once I scrape everything into a big trash can, and then I throw them in the side yard and go out there and just spray them with the high pressure hose, and it cleans. It gets them clean, and then I come in and spray them down with some F10, wipe them off really quick, and then they're ready to rock and roll. They're ready to go. And I'll have like 2 tables. Like when I'm doing ASFs, I'll have 6 empty tubs spread out across all the tables. So I've got 6 tubs ready to go, and then it's just swap them out, put them in there, whatever grow outs I have to do, and then those FB15 tubs, they clean so easily, so it doesn't take that long. I don't let them get that point to where you're like, oh crap, I got to sit here and scrape all this stuff off it. Yeah, you spray them down with a hose, it comes off pretty good. And then plus we're down to about 80% ASFs, and then I only got maybe 5 rat colonies and 2 mice colonies. So eventually, once those rat colonies, are not producing anymore and they need to be, culled out, I'm going to replace those with ASFs. So we've slowly been doing that over time. So yeah, predominantly doing nothing but ASFs. Our snakes eat nothing but ASFs.
That's tough. I couldn't look them in the face. They're too cute.
I don't know.
I can't look at them for more than 10 seconds.
I'm like, these ASFs don't bite you when you stick your hand in there and you're trying to swap them out.
You know what? The first ones that I bought when we first started, oh, dude, those things would bite the crap out of me. And I mean, they're ferocious. And then as we started, you're an asshole out of them. And now, oh, dude, when I'm cleaning them, I just reach in and grab them, put them in the new tub, pick them up, put them in the bucket. I've been bitten more times in the last year by the rats than I have by ASFs. I think I've been bitten once by ASFs. So I was in there changing out the water nozzle, and there was a bunch of babies in there, and one mom came up and just nipped at me. But, it wasn't like a full blown, like when we first got them, where they suckers would chomp down on you and like, oh, dude. Yeah, no, the ones we have, I can pick them up, handle them, scratch them behind the ears, and put them back down. They're good to go.
Hey, Dan, so when you breed ball pythons, are you breeding for yourself or are you breeding for like future projects?
That's a good question. I'm really, my main thing is I'm breeding for myself, right? I want to make, and me and my wife talk about this all the time, I want to make something that I can look at and say, that's a badass looking snake. And what is that snake going to look like as an adult? Because, right, everything looks good as a hatchling, but there's expensive snakes out there that they grow up as an adult and then they look like crap. So I want to make stuff that's going to look good as an adult. But yeah, also for future projects, but future projects that are for us. So like the Trojan stuff, I think it's cool. I want to make a super gravel, super Trojan, and then see where I can go from there. And at the end of the day, to me, that's all that matters. Because if I've got 5 or 6, 10, 15 babies that don't sell, eventually they are, but I got room to house them. I can feed them. That's not an issue. But yeah, so I mean, breeding for us and the future projects for us, because at the end of the day, if you're making badass looking animals, they're going to sell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going to sell. And we always do bell clutches and pied clutches and stuff like that because you do these smaller shows. That stuff. We do 1 or 2 bell clutches every year, and I can't even keep those. Like those things fly. My banana pied clutch, I haven't even posted any of that on a Morph Market, and half of them are already all spoken for.
Wow.
So I'll take them to the show and give them, sell them. The other rest will go to the show with us next month. And, because sometimes, simple and clean is sometimes, the best way to go in certain aspects.
I agree.
I did it was a spider calico yellow belly, and I put my super orange dream yellow belly het clown boy in there with her. And there was only one spider that came out, no wobble. Thing is gorgeous. It's an orange dream spider yellow belly calico. And that thing's awesome. And then I had an orange dream yellow belly calico that popped out, and I look at that girl. I was like, no, you're staying here. You're not going anywhere. But she is just popping with the oranges in there. It's just a beautiful looking snake. And sometimes, simple is better.
I don't know. I love the spider gene.
It gets a bad rap. My girl, she's 2,400 grams, no wobble, and I feed her. She eats live ASFs. That girl does not miss a meal. That male, the only spider male that was in that clutch, no wobble. That thing, I mean, eats like you wouldn't believe. That thing is on point. It gets a bad rap. Now,
but
if the mom had a horrible wobble and was really then I wouldn't breed her. But she has no wobble at all.
Okay. But yeah, but is spider hard for you to sell because of the bad rep that they get?
I mean, it could be. We only did that one clutch.
Oh, that was it.
Spider, and I guarantee you, when I put that thing on the table, without that wobble, someone's going to buy that thing. No problem. It's a gorgeous looking snake. Beautiful.
It's like, do you have it?
Yeah. It's right here.
I was like, I want to see it now.
I said on Saturday, the calico spider was like an iconic combo. The collider.
Which? The
Collider, spider, calico.
Oh, shit. Where are you going?
Nice.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
Support reptiles. Did I say that right?
Spirit.
Spirit reptiles?
Spirit, yes.
Oh, Spirit?
Like a
That's
spirit.
He's a good dude.
That is a
Gorgeous boy.
So is that calico spider orange dream?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, laugh out loud, no longer available. Santi says it's no longer available.
But that's simple, just a simple.
That's gorgeous, though. And what does a Trojan look like? That's what I want to know.
So I'll pull one out in a second. And then this, clutch mate. This is that ODYB calico, and you can just see those oranges just.
Wow.
Dude.
I love what it does.
And you only made one clutch of that?
Yeah.
Damn, that's fire.
Yeah, that is crazy.
She's staying here. Yeah, she's not going anywhere.
So they said they're saying they said Trojan like paint.
Say it again.
They're saying Trojan is it like paint?
I'm sorry, I missed that last part.
Paint. He said paint.
Oh, like paint?
Yeah, Trojan like paint.
I don't know. I mean, it's an enhancer gene, but it throws that really high blushing. But it works really well with certain genes. Like I've seen some examples of Trojan, on Morph Market that I'm like, hey, that doesn't look like a Trojan, or it just doesn't work well with certain genes. Like the Yellow Belly Complex, boom, it works amazing. Enchi, it works amazing. Orange Dream, it works amazing. Like I'll pull this one out. It's an Orange Dream Enchi Trojan.
I like Enchi though. I like the enhancers, but like I'm still learning these more. So I feel like every time I try to get on one more, there's another one dropping.
Yeah, there's a lot. I'm not too familiar with Trojan, so.
And congratulations, Santi! You hit a Suma pied, 9 eggs, 8 pies in total. Congratulations!
Nice.
That's freaking dope. Big Will, I forgot. I'm sorry I didn't say what's up to you. I apologize.
Great odds.
This is an Orange Dream Enchi Trojan. And the camera, I mean, it really doesn't do her justice. I mean, she's just that nice orange coloring, the high orange blushing.
Mm. That's gorgeous.
She's definitely a nice color. Oh, wow.
She's breeding with an Enchi Fire Trojan to make some supers. I got 2 other girls. One of them I paired with the Super Orange Dream Yellow Belly Het Clown. And then the other one, I'm going to do a joint breeding project with Twisted Morphs. And we're going to throw the Hydra gene in there with her. See what happens.
Nice. I don't know if it's much
Elias,
but it's for sure new.
So
Could be interesting.
But what makes Trojan though? That's what I want to know.
What up, Elias?
And Danny, what
Yeah.
makes Trojan?
What's that?
What makes Trojan?
It's just a single gene. It's not a recessive gene.
So dominant.
Yeah.
Oh, co-dom.
So you can put it in right away with projects. So I bought an Inchy Fire Trojan from Justin like 4 years ago, and then bred it to an Orange Dream girl, and those 3 of those girls came out, and they look better now than they did as hatchlings. Like
It has
way better
these.
now than they did as
It
hatchlings.
has super door, right?
Yeah, and the Super Trojan looks almost like a monarch.
Okay.
I'm like,
Yeah, it looks
ooh,
almost like a monarch.
monarch. That's crazy.
Yeah, like I've got, and then I bred that Inchy Fire Trojan to a highway to work yellow belly and the yellow belly and gravel stuff into it. And every shed that I sent in to get tested by Charlie came back gravel and not yellow belly. So I held back I got a yellow belly gravel Trojan girl that someone else is picking up, but I held back an Inchy gravel Trojan and an Inchy Fire gravel Trojan. And when you see those 2 side by side, you know, I got them on my Instagram. They're side by side. That just adding fire to them, it totally changes the whole color palette on that snake. And that's just one gene. I'll pull them out.
I'm like, Will says you got him intrigued.
Like I said, I don't know jack about Trojans, so I'm learning.
So Inchy gravel Trojan, and then you throw fire.
I see exactly what you're talking about. It's definitely brighter.
So it's brighter, and the other one's like dark.
Yeah, and this
It's
one,
like a chocolate.
the nice high blushing, copper blushing that comes through. Yeah, so I mean, one has fire and one doesn't. So fireworks is another good one.
But I feel like fire and Inchy are enhancers, correct? Both of them?
What's that?
Fire and Inchy, they're enhancers, right?
Not as much as like a Trojan. I mean, your fire is a good brightening gene too. Inchy kind of, certain stuff will bring back a lot of that pattern that's missing in certain combos. It's a good one to put into pies because sometimes you'll get, Inchy tends to bring that pattern back.
Oh, so fire is like lesser and pastel, etc.
It's super fire, yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, that's what Will's saying right there.
Special. Yeah. See, I like fire because I have a pastel fire. I like fire.
I like
And then
super fire.
I got a super fire.
Super fires are
pastel.
nice.
Yeah, the white. She's white though. And then she's head clown. So
Yeah, I'm gonna make a super
Nice.
gravel. I think a super gravel super Trojan is gonna look pretty badass. So when those 2 get older, because they're both gravel, so that'll be a shot. I'm trying to get the Inchy Fire Gravel Trojan to lock with my super gravel girl, but he's still trying to figure it out. So yeah, fire's a good one. That LSR fire. Now that's a good line of fire.
from Earl.
Yes, I got I was getting my buddy Doc from Doc's Balls. He passed away not too long ago, but when I was at his house last year, he wanted he wanted my Inchy Trojan girl that I had, and he wanted the super gravel girl. So I took him up there, and I'm like, yeah, here you go, And he's like, well, pick something out that you want. And he was showing me this other stuff, but then he opened up, and I saw the adult version of that pastel LSR fire, and I was like, oh no. He's like, I got a male, a hatchling. I was like, I'll take him. I was like, that thing looked, in my opinion, looked better than a pastel Desert Ghost.
Mhm.
Like it's that LSR fire. And then I was talking with somebody else who has been working with him over in England. I can't remember his name, but he bred him back. He's got some, and he made the super fire with the LSR fire. and he says that is the cleanest and whitest snake that he's ever seen.
I love his LSR
Yeah.
fires.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. I got a gorgeous big old banana girl that's still got these real bright oranges, and I'm trying to get that pastel LSR dude to do the thing with her, but he's another one that's trying to figure it out. Maybe
If you
get another
could-
thunderstorm to come through and get him going.
If you could add another, like I guess more ball python, what would it be and what?
I was gonna add something else.
Oh, they said show the LSR if you have it.
Okay, yeah, Paul. Paul from Spirit. He's been over here at my house. He comes down and we do a lot of stuff together. He's seen it. If I had to add something else, I don't know. Maybe acid would be another one.
A lot of people are getting into acid.
Yeah, that would be one. And if I had to pick another recessive to add into it, probably puzzle.
And that one too. I heard a
But
lot of
honestly,
that.
like with the stuff that we have right now and the projects, dude, I've got enough stuff, man, that'll keep us busy until we're like, okay, man, because it's a hobby. We're going to do this for X amount of time, whatever that time is. Because I'll be damned, dude. I'm not going to be 65 years old in there cleaning rats. That's not happening. So
you
have
do
fun
plan
with
on
it, all we have
expanding?
with it, make some cool stuff, but huh?
Do you plan on expanding, like hiring people?
No.
No, just gonna stay small.
Yeah, it's funner this way. Let me get that past the LSR fire, dude.
I'd be like, I would hire people if I could. I'd be like, let's turn this into a shop. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that right,
Wow.
Yeah, this thing.
bro. And it's clean. See
That's
that?
just pastel and LSR fire?
Yep.
Wow.
Telling you, when I saw the adult version, I was like, "Oh, I'll take that guy. Yeah, give me one of those hatchlings." I mean, it is just, man, it just keeps getting better and better as it ages.
Yeah, that
So I
is
wanna start
super
with-
bright.
Yeah, anything that I got fire in it, it's going to start slowly replacing it with that LSR stuff. Man, this boy is gorgeous.
Have you produced anything yet with him?
Now I'm trying to get him to lock with that banana girl because
What's up, Shauna?
What's up, Sean?
pastel works great with banana, and that fire does too. And if I can get this into that project with the line that girl has, ooh, man, it's going to make some. But yeah, he's trying to figure it out. Yeah. He will.
Man, that's gonna be dope once you produce some
Start
babies.
getting work into the Trojan project next year too.
That's an amazing example.
Yeah,
So
Black
where do you-
Pastel is another team that works really good with Trojan too.
Where do you see the future ball pythons going, Dan?
The future?
Yeah,
Not. I mean, it's going to keep getting. I think the combos are going to keep getting crazier and better. I mean, you'll have people that are going to be hitting, quad recessives, and that stuff's going to be there. But the amount and the pet trade's still there too. That's not going anywhere. You got these little. I think I had one couple come in when we were vending in Dallas a couple years ago, and he was looking at one of the blue-eyed Lucy's, and it was his daughter's birthday. And the mom was like, "Hey, we can only afford X amount." And, so I was like, "What's your budget?" And they told me the budget. I was like, "You know what? Hey, happy birthday to this little girl right there." And they're sending me over the next couple weeks just pictures of this little girl, and I got a picture of her on my Instagram. She's holding this snake, and then they reach out, every once in a while, like, "Hey, the snake's doing amazing. This is awesome." and just seeing that, face of that little girl just light up with joy. And that's right there is the future of the hobby. And it's going to keep getting better. It's never going to go anywhere because there's such a high demand, but that's why
I mean,
US art is so important, because there's so many people out there that would rather see us all fade off and not do this anymore. So you got to support US art. Phil and those guys, man, they do a lot fighting for all of us.
That's
I
right.
agree. But I feel like even the keepers that come in now, like on TikTok, there's keepers on TikTok just attacking people about rack systems, cages, enclosure.
Oh
Not
yeah,
pushing-
I had one person. I think I posted on TikTok one of the clutches, and I was like, we had 2 clutches pop up back to back last weekend. And I put, it was just, hey, this is, and I think I put like something like, it's been a good weekend. And someone replies, oh, it was a good weekend for that snake in that box, because complaining about the racks. And when people make, if you come on there on and you ask a question like, hey, why is it in there? Then we can have a conversation about it. But when the people that come on there and start making those smart ass remarks, I just delete it. I don't got time to waste with, people like that out there. You want to have a conversation? Yeah, come out, ask a question. We can have a conversation about the whole thing, the racks versus, aquariums or PVC enclosures or whatever you want to, put your animal in. But
So I posted on TikTok, right? I posted a workout reel.
Exactly.
And I said I was posting on TikTok, and I posted a workout reel, and somebody commented like, "This clown." I was like, "What what do you mean? Like, how am I being a clown?" Like, I didn't understand. Like,
Yeah, I got one of my old Army buddies, and he's always posting videos at the gym, working out. And somebody asked him, like, why do you do that? And he was like, why do you take pictures of your food and post it on your Instagram? He's like, this is what I like to do. This is what I enjoy doing. But, there's always that one asshole out there.
Mhm.
I don't
Everybody
know.
likes what they like. Everyone has different interests, different hobbies,
Exactly.
And then if you come at somebody hostile, it's like you're gonna get hostility back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, but at a point in time, it does get kind of hard to ignore it, because at that point you're like, okay, I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah. And you know what? For a while there, sometimes you're just like, but now I just got to the point where someone says something, so I just delete it, man. Life's too short, dude, to be worried about all that little stuff like that. I don't let things, like that get to me anymore. Too many better things to be doing than worrying about somebody that's, and that person that's making that comment on your stuff. Oh, that clown, they're just jealous. They're probably sitting there, fat and out of shape, wanting to go back to the gym and work out. So they're just going to try to dog on you.
Most said because my nips were showing. Most of man.
That sounds like somebody would say.
He did. It's right there.
Yeah.
So, what is your take on US art, Danny?
My take on US art?
Yeah.
Oh, it's without it, without US art, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. Some people would, but the majority. I mean, you just look at what they were trying to do at the one in Louisiana.
Oh.
And then you got these folks sitting up there that they sneak all this stuff into these bills, and if that stuff passed and went through, certain states you wouldn't even be able to you wouldn't be able to import or export anything out of that state. You wouldn't be able to go do educational shows. You would reptile expos would be pretty much non-existent. No, US ARC is huge. If you own any type of reptiles, you should be supporting US ARC. I mean, you don't have to go out and be a silver member, or, gold member or whatever, but you can do a bronze membership for $40 a year, or you know what, you can do $5 a month. I mean, $5 a month, people spend more on that, you know, on a damn cup of coffee, you know,
Starbucks.
every other day. Yeah. You know, or, you know, going out, you get you know, a beer at a restaurant's going to cost you more than $5, you know, most places.
$7. Yeah.
Depending on where you go, what you're drinking. But if, you know, if you go to a nice, like the back porch draft house or whatever and get a pint of you know, an IPA or something like that, it's going to be about $5, if not a little, you know, maybe $6, you know. So the cost of that can be going towards US Arc. And if everybody did it, you know, just because the support they give us is amazing, man. When you know, when we go to these auctions and stuff, and we're, you know, I can't count, man, if I had an exact amount of money that I've donated to US Arc just through memberships and, you know, buying stuff at the auctions and donating stuff to the auctions, you know, it adds up, but it's for a good cause. And I think if you're owning reptiles, or even if you're in this hobby breeding and you're not a US Arc member, you need to ask the question to yourself why, because you should be.
100%.
If you don't think it's important, then you probably shouldn't be doing this at all. That's just my opinion.
And at the bronze level, they give you they send you a shirt. It's not even really $40. They're probably have taken less than that because they're sending you a shirt. They don't have to do that. In my opinion, they should probably the next level send you a shirt.
I never, like, even when I get the renewal thing, the stuff, you know, for our membership, and they say, well, here's your, you know, shirt. I don't even, boom, because every time we go to the show and they have a new one, I buy the shirts. I don't need them to send me a free shirt, because when I know when I'm giving, you know, for the shirts, it's going, because they're not making any money off those shirts, really, you know, because,
right.
I mean, you're pulling bulk orders and stuff like that. You're making a little bit, but even like the Printify website that we have for our shirts, I've got the profit margin set to like, I think it's like 5%. So if someone buys a shirt through there, I think we make like 75 cents or some crap like that. It's something so small, because I'm not trying to make money off selling shirts. I spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on stickers, you know, throughout the year. And I just, they stay on the table. People just take them. I like seeing the little kids walking around with, you know, all the stickers, or, you know, you go to a show and then you see somebody else coming in with their tote and they've got, you know, your sticker on their stuff. You got their sticker on your stuff. And, you know, it's good advertisement, you know, promoting everybody. But yeah.
Yeah, I got like a whole wall right here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my racks and incubators are filled. I'm starting to fill up my cooler. My wife's like, hey, we need to start putting stickers on the cooler, you know.
Man, but back then it used to be like stickers was like a thing back then, like sticker swapping, and now people are like,
that was right around like what, 20?
That was the 2018. That's when I came in.
Hey, you know, that was kind of cool though, man. I did sticker swaps with I don't know how many, but I got some cool stickers from people in, you know, South Africa. I got a shirt and some cool stickers from this dude in Israel, you know, that he's over there. You know, then you're sitting there, something like, hey, I'm sending this stuff out, and it's going to, you know, Germany and Sweden and Ireland and Italy, and, you know, people.
That sticker right there.
Got some cool stickers. Can you just send me some stickers? I'm like, yeah, send me your address.
I'm like, this sticker right here came from Spain.
See,
Spain, bro.
I had a dude from Italy reach out, and he's like, man, send me some stickers. I was like,
yeah, they do though.
Yeah.
They do reach out and they're like, your stickers are badass or something. Yeah, hey, how many podcasts have you done, Danny?
Huh?
How many podcasts have you done?
Podcasts? Oh. Quite a few.
I know you did what, Keys, what was it, last?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I'll get on his not every weekend.
Well, let the Hair Down Fridays.
Huh?
Do you do Hair Down Fridays?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's a lot of fun, man. We'll stay on there, and next thing you know, it's like 11:30, and we're on there drinking beer and having a good time, man. That's a fun one. That's a fun one to be on.
Yeah. Shout out to Keys and Wiz.
What's up, Emily?
I did Chris's 15 minutes of lame.
Oh yeah, so I'm looking at your profile right now, so that's what I was asking.
Yeah, because the voting for that starts next month? I think like the middle of November, somewhere
Wait.
around there.
You're trying to be 15 minutes late?
Dude, if I win, cool. If not, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. He asked me to come on and do it, and I support him because he's a really, really good friend of mine. So I'm like, yeah, I support him stuff, man. Because yeah, Chris is a good dude. Chris is a really good dude.
I don't know. I hear a lot. I hear a lot of different things. A lot of people, don't like a lot of people.
Once you get to know him and you understand him and you know him as a person, you know he's misunderstood by some people because they're just like, oh, this guy's up to, because he'll throw up this YouTube short of like, oh, all you ball python breeders and blah 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 blah, but it's not directed. He's doing it as a joke. He's having fun with it,
And people take it the wrong way.
Yeah. About it all the time, but no, man. And like Shauna, she's really good friends with him too. He's this is a good dude, and he's done a lot for the hobby as well. He does a lot.
Oh yeah. I was there when he did all that for US Arc and everything. He raised all that money. Or something. If I'm right. And my camera's all jacked. And then he's like, that's why you get an iPhone. He said, if your camera doesn't look like this, you need an iPhone. Man, that shit was funny. I was like, damn. It's going hard in the pink.
Yeah, he crashed.
Oh, yeah. Prayers for Bosa's wife, yes.
Yeah, shout out to Bosa and his wife.
So, oh yeah. So, what was that rattlesnake that you had on your page?
Oh, okay. So that I got a phone call from a guy in Killeen, which is the town over, next to us. And he was like, hey, my wife caught a rattlesnake. I tried calling Texas Parks. Nobody, I don't know what to do with this. I saw you on Google, and I was like, bring him to me. I was like, I'll take care of it for you. I'll release it. And he brought it over in a cooler, so I put it in the tub, and it was dehydrated big time. It was a baby, dude. It only had one rattle. So I brought it in the snake room, put a little water dish in there, let it relax for a little while, covered it up, and then I threw a rat fuzzy in there with it, and it ate it right away. So I just gave it, wanted to make sure it had a good, meal in its belly, because we got 60 acres behind our house that these people own, and I go back there all the time. So I took it a couple 100 yards from the house and let it go. That's just, and my wife caught one on our front porch, and we did the same thing.
Oh, I would have fed it. I would have fed it and then let it go. We'd be like, here you go.
But no, if I had a rattlesnake in here, I got family members that would be like, no, I'm not coming over now.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Plus, with the kids and everything, I'm not going to keep anything, venomous.
See, I want one venomous, but I'm gonna lock the tank up. I'm gonna put locks on it.
Yeah.
I don't trust any of my family members because my brothers are pretty dumb.
Yeah. So I'm always telling our neighbors and stuff, because there's a big horse ranch behind us too. And our neighbors, they'll get them in the yard. And I always tell people, and people I work with, you get a snake or whatever, don't give me a call. I'll come over. I'll remove it for you. I'll come let it go. Because I got a buddy that he'll get rat snakes to get in his chicken coop all the time. And I'm like, dude, don't kill him, man. Call me. I will come, remove them and bring them back here and let them go. Let them live their best life. They're important.
Yeah. So I have a buddy here that owns a ranch, but he throws a fire. Like he makes a fire, and then if he catches them, he throws them in there. Yeah, I'm like, bro, just bring it here, dude. Let me take care of it.
I mean, I can understand if it's like a dangerous situation, you got a kid, something like that, and you don't know. Okay, but just to do it, just to kill him like that, that's uncalled for. I couldn't do that.
Heartless. It's heartless. It sucks.
We live up about 20 minutes from here, got 20 acres, and she called my wife one time. She's like, I'm out here doing yard work, and there's a big ass tarantula. You need to come get it, or I'm gonna kill it. My wife jumped in the car, drove up there, and caught the tarantula, brought it back, kept it. She kept it for about 3 or 4 weeks, feeding it, and then she took it off and let it go behind the house.
Danny, where are you located at?
We're in Coppers Cove. Texas. So
Oh, okay.
Chris knows where it's at. We're about
He's in Texas.
hour
That's all that
north
matters.
of Austin. Yeah, we're about an hour north of Austin and about 2.5 hours south of Dallas.
Oh,
Okay.
no way. I didn't know you're an hour away from me. Oh, wait, 2 hours away from me.
From Austin,
Yeah.
2 hours to San Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know you
It's
guys
nice
had
to
wild
know.
ranches like that.
Oh yeah, there's, we got.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Thanks for the subscribe.
Oh yeah, Paul, man, Paul from Spirit, he's a good dude. He's a really good guy.
I'm gonna have to get him on here. I wonder if he'll get on here.
Yeah,
What does he work with? Ball pythons too?
Yeah, he's got ball pythons too. He came and picked up. What did he get from he got a pastel gravel from us about 2 years ago. And at that time, I'm like real skeptical. If somebody's like, "Hey, I'm local. I want to pick up." I'm like, "Hey, here's the address to the Shell station up the street. I'll drive up there. I'll meet you in the parking lot. You're not coming to the house." But then he reached out, and I seen his YouTube channel, talked to him a few times. He's like, "I'll come meet him." I was like, "Nah, dude, I trust you. You can come to the house." He's like, "I'll have my wife with me," and so they came down one time, picked it up, showed him everything. And then he's come down a couple of times, more times after that, and we've done a couple of like sit down for his podcast. Well, it's not his podcast; he's got his YouTube channel, and we've done a few things on there. Like I did one where I walked through the whole rat euthanization process, how I make my frozen thawed, with the excess stuff. He did a whole video on that, and we went through, hey, this is how you put them in, set them up. This is all the parts for the CO2 and how they made the little it's everything from the beginning to the end to putting them in the freezer. And then he came down another time, and he came down one time and spent the night, brought his wife, and we hung out and did a big old fish fry with some catfish. And then he brought his ultrasound the next time, and ultrasound. Say he's a good guy. He comes up to the shows and helps out, everything. He's real knowledgeable too. He's got a pretty good little collection. He's got some cool stuff.
That's dope.
Some cool things. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Dude, that's dope. That's sick. I'm not gonna lie, that's sick.
He's
And
got
you
a
got-
super cool YouTube channel, bro. If you haven't seen it, like it's a lot of explanation videos and stuff like that.
Like
I've seen a
informative,
couple of them. I haven't seen a lot, but
like
they're super
informative videos.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, I gotta check it out then because I didn't even know who he was till he came on here.
Yeah.
So, do you have any announcements, Danny, or anything coming out?
No, I mean, you got that 15 minutes of lane voting stuff coming up next month. I think it's 16 November when that starts. They'll start doing the panels with all of us, the ones that were on the show with them. We're doing the Grapevine Repticon. As a matter of fact, 16, 17 November. We'll be up there, in Grapevine outside of Dallas. And then we're doing Herps Longview in January, the middle of January. And then I think we do Austin Herps after that. I don't know if we're going to go to any RBC this March or not. It all depends. Because, we always vend with Byron from Brace Exotics.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So
yeah.
It depends because the show's changing a lot, the way they're doing things.
Yeah, I heard it's weird now. Well, the one in Dallas, right?
This hits different than, you get so used to going to Arlington year after year after year, and it's a very nice venue. And then it's huge. I mean, the Dallas show is humongous. But now they're adding all the aquatics and a bunch of different things over there. So it may be good, it may not. I don't know. But we always work with Brace Exotics. So if they go, we go. If they're not going to go, then we'll probably just
go.
sit that one out. Yeah, because when you're going in on it with each other, it's different. But because it's not cheap to vend those shows. You're talking, $295 for a table, then $125 for electricity, then an extra $20 for. So if you're going to have one 8-foot table with you and one other person and electricity, you're spending already $400 and something just for that setup. Then you got your hotels and all that other stuff. So I'd like doing the smaller shows, to be honest with you, man. The Herp shows are great. Sean and Lori do an amazing job running those. I love doing the Herp shows. And like the herps and the reptile, they're smaller and it's more intimate. It doesn't seem like they're bigger. They're big shows too, but I don't know. They hit different, than a show like in the RVC.
Hey, when you do the herb show in Austin, let me know, dude, so I can go out there and see.
Yeah, that one will be in April.
Yeah, because I'm gonna go out there and hang out with you, man.
Yeah, we were going to do the herb show in College Station in March, but I got my dates crossed up. We're going to be in Vegas that weekend, so we had to cancel that show.
That Austin show is the only show I've ever been to in Texas.
It's a cool one.
Yeah, it's really
cool because like the Austin show, it's a hot show, so they'll have Venomous there.
That's that as a Floridian, I was like, "What is this?"
I see there.
It's red tape on the lids, and that's how you know.
Yeah. I start drooling over the Gaboon Vipers because, man,
if I could own one, so bad.
If I could own one venomous snake, it would be a Gaboon Viper.
Yeah.
And my wife tells me, she's like, "You're effing crazy. No."
It's kind of scary though because you see how big their fangs are.
Yeah,
dude, they're like syringes.
Have you seen the albino version?
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes.
Man.
That'd be the one. If I could get that snake, that'd be the one and only venomous snake I would get is the albino.
Oh yeah. If I ever win the lottery, I'm gonna get one.
Right, and just put it somewhere high so nobody.
To give it its own room. Keep that sucker on a double lock and key, and it'll be good to go.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, me too. If I could, I would make it its own room too. Hell yeah, that thing is badass.
Yep.
But yeah, man. All right. So if you could, knowing what you know now, if you could go back in time, what would you change?
If I could go back and change something,
yeah, what would you change? Knowing what you know now.
I would have started breeding my own rodents a lot sooner. That's that for sure, right there. And I would have done a little bit more because as far as not researching, right? We did pretty good research on what projects we wanted to work with, but there's probably about 9 or 10 snakes that we bought when we first started getting into it that we don't own anymore. Some were like, hey, we bred and we got the female or whatever that we wanted, so we can sell that one. But there's, you got these impulse buys. You're like, oh, this snake looks cool. That snake looks cool. So I would have stepped back and really, done a little bit more analysis as far as like, where do we want to go 5 years, 6, 7, 8 years from now? And so there's probably a handful of snakes that I wouldn't have bought. So I would change that up a little bit, and then really then breeding the rodents sooner. Because when we did our LLC and I did our taxes that first year, and I saw how much money we spent on frozen thaw and live feeders through the year, and my jaw hit the floor. I was like, I knew it was a lot, but I didn't. When you see it in paper, you're like, oh, are you freaking kidding me? So, yeah, once I saw that number, I immediately went down to the hardware store and bought a bunch of 2x4s and started splitting 2x4s and started building racks.
Hey, Dan, what was the number? So everybody could be like, wow.
What was the number? Frozen thawed alone was probably about $6,000-$7,000, and then live was probably about another $2,000. Because when you're feeding live and you've got, say you're just feeding 5 a week that eat live, and there's only one place to get it, and you're going down and you're dropping, 5 of them, say you're dropping $30 a week, and that's just 5. There was more that were eating live. And then you got your hatchlings, and now you got to sit there and go buy all these hatchlings, and then, you're buying hoppers, and the stuff adds up so fast. And when I saw that number, I was like, damn. And now with the rodents, with the 5 racks, I spend about $170 in feed about every 4 to 6 weeks, and your pine shavings are not that much.
Yeah.
9? I get them at the store for like $10, and yeah, I've got to go out there and spend my Saturday morning, cleaning them, but I'm spending $250 a month, if that, to keep the rodents going, and it feeds my entire collection. Shoot, Paul from Strict Reptiles, he comes and gets all my excess that are in the freezer. I'll sit there and euthanize them and give him probably, every time he comes down, I send him home with probably about 300, about 200 rats.
Damn.
Where I fills it up, but and then we got people around here that are that need one or two here and there. I got a guy coming by after this to pick up. I've got about 30 or 40 weaned and small rats that are in the grow out tubs, and he'll reach out every once in a while. You got excess? I'm like, you need to come now, because if you don't come by, so you don't come by this day, the next thing you call me, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I got frozen thawed for you, but I don't have live.
So do you ship or no?
What's that?
I said, do you ship out? Like, can you ship frozen or no?
You can, but I'm not. It's too much.
Too much?
Yeah, I mean, to get the material and all that stuff, and it's between doing that and the dries and packing and all that stuff. It's just I don't have that much. I keep a small amount of frozen thawed as for us, just in case, because there are times when you've got because ASFs are really good breeders for about a year and some change, and then they start slowing down. So when they start slowing down, they're getting fed off, and then you got to start a new colony out of the grow outs, and then that takes them about a month or so to get going. So you got those times where it's kind of lulling, but our ASF production is so high. There's times where I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna run out, and then I come in a week later and I'm like, oh crap, where am I gonna put all these grow outs? I've got so many of them. So I started making more grow out tubs. I think I got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ASF grow out tubs, 6 females and 4 males, and each of them's got about anywhere between 40 to 55 grow outs in each one. Dude. And then you're opening up the other tubs, their litters are huge. So you got one that's got 20 something babies, and it takes a little bit longer for them to grow up. But the thing I love about ASFs is you can have a jumbo ASF and a ball python can eat it no problem. You let your rats get too big, and then I'm like, oh crap, they just turned into boa food, because I'm not feeding a ball python a large rat. I don't even feed them a medium rat. I'd rather feed my big girls just a small medium ASF before I'll give them a medium rat, because that smaller ASF is just packed with more nutrition, because they've got the bone density, they got the muscle mass, and honestly, since our whole collection's been on ASF for about the last probably year and some change, year and a half, I've really noticed a big difference. The females they're getting huge, but the clutches, right? Going back 2, 3, 4 years, when we were feeding predominantly rats, the clutches were coming out, and the babies were, every once in a while, 65 grams, 67 grams, 55 grams, 57 grams. Now, and it may not be the ASFs, I don't know, but every single clutch that we've hatched this year, I haven't had a hatchling come out of that egg weighing less than 72, 75 grams. And they're coming out and they're eating a couple hopper, and they're shoot. I got one that's only on its 5th meal, and it's already at the size to where, it wants an adult. It's huge. They're coming out big. I mean, healthy looking babies. So it could be that, it could not. I don't know. But that's just what I'm seeing from our end.
Go ahead. My bad, Chris. Are you supplementing your rodents feed with anything like sunflower seeds or?
I don't do the seeds, but I do every week. They're getting kale, celery, carrots, broccoli, apples. Like once a week, I go in there with a bunch of those veggies and chop them all up and sit there, and they're going into each tub. So they're getting a lot of. They're spoiled.
I hear too a lot of hard-boiled eggs
really well, and that's what's going into our snakes. Because you start buying stuff from other people, you don't know what they're feeding them. I know what's going into our rodents, and they're healthy foods going into the snakes makes them more healthy. It's just, I think it's better all around for all of them. Yeah, I don't like, the ASFs are super cute, so it's kind of like, oh, man, yeah, but
Yeah, I couldn't look at it for more than 10 seconds. Don't look at it in the eyes.
Yeah.
No, I was watching Key's vlogs, or one of his vlogs, and he was putting a mix of black soldier fly larvae, sunflower seeds, and this like concoction. I'm like, that's pretty smart. Like, if you're gonna, it's
Yeah.
I don't know if
Like
it would be gut loading, but it's definitely more beneficial than
Yeah, the black soldier larva, I've got a big bag of that because we sprinkle that out for our chickens. So that is one thing that we're going to start. I want to start. Tell my wife next time she orders one to order two, so I can keep one in the rat room, put them in there, little treats for them and stuff. Chickens tear those things up. They love those.
Gut loading.
It must be good, right?
Yeah, see, I was saying the hard-boiled eggs with shell on, crack a small piece so they get the scent. But
because our chickens, they're dropping about 10 eggs a day. So I go out there after a couple of days. I'm pulling, 24 eggs. I went out there yesterday because and my wife's out of town, so I hadn't been out there in a couple of days. I pulled almost 30 eggs out of the chicken coop. So a lot of the times, and I eat those things every morning because they're good. They're so good. But I'll take the excess ones. Sometimes we give them to the neighbors, or my mom will come up. I'll send her home with some. But I keep that excess bucket going. And same thing, put them in there, hard boiled them, shell and everything, because it's that calcium. Just crumbling them up, put a hole. And when you put those things there, man, they tear that up. They love hard-boiled eggs.
Thank you, Emma, by the way, because she answered that. So, all right, we're at an hour and 6 minutes. I think Eric has 2 questions. I have 2 questions left, and I want you to go ahead and plug yourself, and now I'm going to drop the sponsor video because I didn't drop it. I forgot. So go ahead and plug yourself, Danny, where people can find you.
What's that?
I said, go ahead and plug yourself where people can find you.
Oh, just main places. Instagram, Facebook. Those are the 2 ones.
So yeah, go follow. I was gonna say subscribe.
Chain Reaction Exotics on both of them. I had to put the damn underscores in between them because we had already bought the website and had everything, and somebody made a Chain Reaction Exotics Facebook page I think it was a long time ago, but they never did anything with it. So I was like, well, no, I got to put the damn underscores in there. So yeah, just Chain _Reaction _Exotics on Instagram, Facebook. I put out stuff on TikTok every once in a while, not too much stuff, but really predominantly, if it's going on Instagram, it's going to be on my Facebook page because it shares over there automatically.
Yeah.
Unless it's a reel or something. But
like TikTok's hard though. I used to be on TikTok like that, but then I'm like, yeah.
I put one on every once in a while, but it's a lot when you're trying to put different things, the same thing on 3 different platforms.
I'm gonna do the sponsor reel real quick. Sponsor. Hey, whatever happened to Claudio from KC Reptile Lab? His Instagram's gone now.
I have no idea.
Oh, I was asking Danny. I thought he knew.
Say it again?
So whatever happened to Claudio
Last door.
from
Say it
KC
again?
Reptile Lab? What happened to Claudio?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't remember?
No.
I don't know. I was just asking because I thought, when he was there at Arlington, he was there too with the Mariano.
Yeah, I don't know. There's been a lot of people that have come and gone.
They just disappeared.
Yeah.
A lot of people left. All right. So my question is, what did you think of the podcast so far, Dan?
I like it. I mean, you always found a good one. I always watch yours, I try to get on and watch it most of the time. Probably 80%. If I don't, I catch it when I'm at work. No, you always have good content. You got a good variety of people on here. You don't just bring the same type. It's not just it's just all ball pythons. You got the boa folks coming on, the gecko folks, and all that stuff. So you have a really good variety. And it's hard. If my hat goes off to you, dude, it's hard to do it that many times. Twice a week, and that's a lot of content. I couldn't do it. That's a lot. It's a lot of time too. You're devoting. That's why I told you when you were like, you want to come on? I'm like, oh, this is perfect time, dude. My wife's out of town. I can dedicate, an hour and some change to, coming on here.
Bro, I had to bring Danny on, man. I've only talked to him in the shows. Well, I've talked to you for a long time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just trying to find the time.
Man.
For a while there, you were like, watching yours, like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm cleaning ASF. So that's why I started getting it to where, I do every Saturday morning I go in there, so I'm not taken away from time from other things like coming home from work and then I'm in the rat room until 10 o'clock at night because I'm cleaning. Like, nah, unless I got to clean the grow outs, like tomorrow's grow out day, but I can clean the grow outs in 35 minutes. It doesn't take.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not. That's quick. I lay out 6 tubs, boom, 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 do 3 more, and then I'm done. It's when I'm cleaning, all 5 racks at, that's the one that takes, a few hours. Unless I start, BSing and I'm watching the podcast or I got something on in the background that's distracting me. Next thing you know, I'm like, oh, dude, it's been like 4.5 hours. I'm still out here.
Distracting.
So it's either a podcast or music. And then that keeps me
going. Hell yeah. Appreciate that. I was gonna tell you too, I'm gonna be on another podcast at the end of the month with Georgia the Jungle, the Spirit Animal podcast.
Okay.
This one's gonna be a funny one. Apparently he has a stripper and a priest coming on together. So I'm gonna co-host that with them. So it's gonna be pretty messy.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So
send me the link for that, man. I want to check that out. Definitely send me the link for that one.
You're gonna have some fun with that one.
When he asked me to co-host with him, I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "For real." He's like, "We're gonna talk shit to the priest." I was like, "I can't talk shit to the priest, bro." I was like, "I can't do that." That's like, I'm gonna be there just watching, like, man.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, send me the link, dude. I want to watch that. That's gonna be awesome.
He said stripper shoe.
She had none.
All right. My last question for you is, if you could change one thing in the hobby/industry, what would it be and why?
If I could change one thing in the hobby, man, it would probably get rid of all the negativity that's out there. There's just all the, I don't know, man. There's a lot of pettiness out there, but that's in everything you go, man. That's in every job you have. That's in every industry. You're always going to have that. But to me, that is one thing that it's a big turnoff, man. When you're sitting there and you're like, oh, come on, really? You're arguing about that, or you said this about this person, and we keep our stuff far away from all that stuff. If I would like to get rid of that, and then also at the same time, though, increase U.S. ARC memberships and get more people involved with that. That'd be one thing that I would definitely change. Like, hey,
Exactly.
If someone buys a snake for me, and you're like, hey, are you a U.S. ARC member? Nope. Well, guess what? I'll buy you, a bronze membership for a year, so you can see and learn and get, what it's all about.
That's cool.
I agree. I tried doing that too for like a whole month. I was doing that. Like, if nobody doesn't have a membership, hit me up. I would have bought you one. But nobody ever hit me up. So
yeah,
I was trying to do get on that train with Gary from Constricted and Addicted was doing. He's like, I'll buy you a US ARC membership. If you don't have one, just let me know.
Yeah.
But yeah, nobody ever hit me up. So I only bought one, I think it was, but I can't remember.
Danny, is there any species you want to get into that you don't have?
Besides venomous.
No venomous, besides venomous.
that we don't
You guys
have.
in Texas, man, you just go outside and you can catch a venomous snake, and that's it.
Rattlesnake. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, they're all behind my house. You know, they're all over the place. They just don't come in the backyard because all the chickens and the turkeys and they tend to keep things at bay. I think I've seen what is it, eastern bellied racer or something like that in our backyard one time, and that's it. I've never seen. We had no rat snakes coming in, none of that stuff. Not even in the chicken coop.
Hmm.
I don't know. Not to work with. No, I can't think of anything because I mean, the ones that we just added getting the hog noses last year. That was the one that my wife was like, "Ooh, I want to start working with these," and so we just added those. But if we didn't have hog noses, then that would have been the one I would have said, "Yeah, we want to start. Want to get some hog noses and work with them." They're cool. They're cool little things, man. I can't think of anything else.
You have turkeys in your backyard?
Yeah.
Wait, so do you go grab your own turkey for Thanksgiving?
No, they're
Oh,
pets.
I was gonna say.
No,
I was like, you pluck them and eat them.
no, they're
That's sad. I was all that sad.
Yeah, we got 2 toms, and they walk around all day with their, feathers fanned out, and they fight every once in a while. But that's, it's funny because the tom, that's his son. The hatched and raised and all that stuff, and they're always fighting over the one hen that we got. But
Right after the hurricane, we had
they're good.
about
They do
11 in the
keep
backyard.
the hawks away too, somewhat. Yeah, we'll lose a chicken to a hawk every once in a while, but
11 chickens.
Turkeys.
Oh, turkeys in your backyard after the hurricane.
Yeah, 3
That's
turkeys
crazy,
and probably about 20, 25 chickens. Yeah, somewhere around there. My wife got
Nice.
that was her dream. She always wanted chickens, and when we moved out away from outside the city limits, the first thing she said is, "I want chickens." So I started building her a chicken coop, and next thing you know, it went from 1, and then I expanded it a second time, and then I expanded it a third time, and it's basically on the backside. It's got a room that you can open up the door and walk in, and that's their roosting area.
That's cool.
And then it's got a storage room behind it where I keep the big trash cans full of the feed and all the supplies and everything. So I built her that one, and she was like, "This is nice." Then about 8 months later, she's like, "Oh, can we double it?" Okay. We doubled it, and she was like, "Hey, I got another idea I want to do." And I'm like, "Okay." And worked on that. So thing's been
I would have done the UFO chicken coop. Have you seen that?
I saw that one. That one looks pretty cool.
Right? I thought that'd be pretty cool. But
It's a UFO?
Yeah, that'd be UFO chicken coop.
Oh, that's cool. I tell my wife, Danny, the same thing. We move anywhere else, I'm getting chickens. For where we live, can't have them.
Bro, I want a miniature cow.
A miniature cow.
Yeah, mini cow.
Yeah, those mini cows.
Those things are cute as hell.
I haven't seen too many.
I want that and a baby goat. I just want to scare him so he steps up like.
The fainting goats.
Go ahead. Ask your last question here.
My last question for you, Danny. Give me a problem or a situation that you ran into with your reptiles that no one told you about and you weren't really expecting.
Oh.
It could be about the reptiles. It could be about where you have your reptiles, like the building.
Man, situation that I ran into that I wasn't expecting. That's a hard one because we've had some pretty good mentors when we first started off. Man, I'm trying to think of any problems we run into. It hasn't been that many.
I mean, I'll give you one real quick. One for me was like an exterior wall in my house being colder than all my other walls. So one group of animals on one wall was significantly
Okay.
colder than the other side of the room.
That's crazy though.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Because when we first started, we had them in, one room, and it was by windows and everything, and then we ended up moving them. That's a good one. See, it just sparked them. So then we ended up moving them into our bedroom, and it wasn't until like the third time where in our old house there was this huge closet upstairs that was away from everything that I could be really easy to keep it climate controlled. And I went and installed outlets in there. And I moved the snake racks in there. We were really small at that point. No, that is a good point because it was 3 different moves before they finally went into somewhere where I was like, okay, now I've got everything dialed in. Instead of really looking like, okay, yeah, it looks cool in here because everybody's going to come over, but is it really feasible to have, these 2 snake racks right by a window or this and that? The house we're in now, it's perfect because the guy that built this house, this room right here was his reloading room. So he had all of his guns and his station set up in here to reload all his ammo. So when we first came and looked at this house, because the room's in between the 2 garages, so there's a garage on this side, and then there's the room, and then the garage on this side. It's just a 1-car. I insulated that and put a mini split. That's where the rodents are. But the first thing I did when we came to look at the house, I told my wife, I was like, no, you can go look at everything. I'm going to go look at this room in the garage. And I walked in, I was like, first thing I walked in, I put my arms out. I was like, yep, a rack will fit in here, no problem. And I was like, we're good to go. Yeah, researching that because I ran into the same situation, moving stuff around 2-3 different times before, finally settling in. And then even coming into this place, everything was coming in this room, but it wasn't until the first summer I remember I was like, man, because it's got the AC from the house coming in here. I was like, man, it's like 82 degrees in here. I was like, it's getting hot. And then I went up in the attic and I was like, oh shit, there's no insulation above it. So same thing, I could have came in and did a little bit better research in the room and above it in the attic and as far as that goes before we started pumping stuff in here. But it worked out because when we insulated the garage over here for the rodents, the guys, they came and they insulated the walls and they went up in the attic and they came and put all the electric and folks that come to the house, they're like, oh, it's a snake house. We're going to the snake house. So when we first moved in, they came and put a whole nother electrical panel in the garage for us. So that way everything in here would be running off of its own breaker box. So it's completely separate from the breaker box that controls the house.
No, that's dope.
Yeah. So when they came back out, they were like, dude, we got you, man. They went up there and they insulated not only above the garage, but they insulated above this room. So now this room stays at, 75 degrees all day long. It stays nice and comfortable in here. The racks are dialed in. I keep my humidifier going. It keeps the humidity in here. Sometimes about in the summer when it's real hot, it's not that great. But spring, winter, and fall, it's 70% humidity in here all the time.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I asked that question because I'm going through the similar situation where I'm getting kicked out of my snake room and I got to go into my garage, which was unfinished, no insulation. And it's like, you think you can just move it over there. And it's like, not really going to work out well if you don't make preparations.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. Because
no, that was a good one. I couldn't
about.
think of anything. And as soon as you started saying that, I was like, oh, yeah, we do the same scenario, same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. That was a good question, Eric. Good question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Before we get on out of here, Danny, we're going to have you say a positive message for the people watching.
Be happy. So enjoy what you're doing and just enjoy it and be happy.
I want to say thank you for coming on the podcast, brother. I appreciate you for giving me time. Taking time out your day for coming on here. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. No, it's long overdue.
Everybody go follow Chain Reaction Exotics on Instagram. It's chain_reaction_exotics, right?
Yeah, because that asshole took the name on the other page.
And on Instagram. Appreciate you guys. Anything else before we get on here, Danny? Eric?
Danny, like Chris just said, thank you for coming on. It was great to meet you. And thank you for showing off some of your snakes too.
Oh yeah, dude.
I haven't really seen too many Trojans, so it was great to see.
Yeah, I love that. We hope we have some really cool. When that one hatches that I bred with that super orange dream yellow belly, I think there's going to be some, because a super orange dream version of that one I think is going to look freaking amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it may even be, it's going to look. And hopefully we have a chance to hit some supers this year too. I'll definitely send you guys some pics.
Hey, if you have any egg cuttings, bro, let me know. We can do an egg cutting episode with you.
Okay. You know what? When that Trojan, when the Trojans clutch, those two when they lay, and then when they get ready to start hatching, yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah, just let me know when.
I bred the Enchi Fire Trojan to OD Enchi Trojan, so there's going to be a chance to hit Super Trojans, Super Enchi Trojans, Enchi Super Trojan. Who knows? Those are the ones that I'm like, oh, see what comes crawling out. So yeah, that'll be definitely a good one.
That's gonna be fire, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely needs to be on the podcast. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, just let me know, and I'll set the flyer up if you know a date, like what day you're gonna cut them.
Yeah, they ain't even gotten close to ovulating yet, so they've been paired up a few times. They were all sitting around 10 millimeter follicles, in the middle of June. So they're getting there. All the other ones that were around that same size, they just started dropping. So they'll be there soon.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna get on out of here, guys. Y'all have a great night. Remember, check on your loved ones. Stay positive. Lift each other up. Never put each other down. Just stay motivated, guys. Y'all keep moving forward. We on out of here. Y'all have a good night.
Later, guys.